window down. How am I going to order any vaginas? Hey, welcome back to the Go Fast Garage, and I am at one of my favorite places in the whole world, the Wreckers, where you can find all sorts of Go Fast parts and hopefully some parts to make our old Ford look a little bit better. So I came out here looking for some door panels and found this truck, which actually had one of them taken off already, which is perfect. And the other one on the truck is in real good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that guy off too. And I got a park light lens as well. And I'm just going to look for a few other odds and ends while I'm out here and see what I can find that'll make my old truck a little bit better. Okay, from this guy we got another park light lens. I got one from another truck over there. And I got two good door panels, so this is pretty awesome. Pretty good finds for today. But let me tell you, there's a ton of 66 and older Chevys and Fords here. But man, there's not a lot of bump sides out here at all. I've found two so far. I know there's another one out here that I found previously that has a set of buckets in it. So I really want to find that truck because those brackets are pretty hard to find. And I don't care about the seat so much as I like the brackets. So I'm going to keep digging around and see if I can find that truck next. Okay, I'm back home now, but as you can see, the garage is, well, it's not a mess, it's empty. And a little bit disorganized right now because I'm actually coating the floor. I did this side last weekend. This morning I was up early and I cleaned all this up, and then I pressure washed the floor and degreased it and hit it with brake clean and everything else. I have spilled quite a bit of oil on this side, coolant, brake fluid, you name it, right? So I don't know how great the paint or the epoxy paint's going to stick, but at least it's easy to clean up and I can touch it up. That's why I didn't go with the real expensive stuff. And well, enough of that anyways. I am going to be moving on, and I'm going to be putting the power window kit in this truck, which is pretty cool because I've been looking forward to doing that for quite some time. So I'm going to go get the box and dig that stuff out now. Okay, so pretty cool kit. It's actually just a complete replacement regulator. So I should be able to just unbolt the crank window mechanism and just bolt these guys in place. And it came with these really nice switches that you actually put these in where the window crank was previously. I think that hole's pretty much the right size there, but well, we'll have to open it up, and that backing plate is what holds it tight into the door panel. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to get some new door panels for this thing, because some monkey somewhere down the road decided that it needed some really terrible dual cone 6x9s in the door instead of you know, having a nice solid metal door panel. Probably part of where the noise is in this truck going down the road. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is doing some soundproofing in the doors while I got them apart. So that should be really great. And yeah, let's get going. I'm going to tear this door open and we'll see what's inside. Okay, let's get this door panel off. Now, probably the best thing to do is to take this armrest off first, which is a 3/8 socket. You got to get in there and find that bolt. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Try not to lose your socket into the door. Deep socket helps on this one, because if you try to stick in a regular size socket, it's just going to disappear. It'll come out with, or your extension will come out without the bolt, and that'll be that, and then it'll be stuck, and you'll be mad. But this works pretty good. Uh-oh, and a stage 4 clinger. One that doesn't want to let go. There you go, that's how that works. And then now there's two more bolts there and there, which I think are 11/32, and yeah, let me bring. Yeah, they are. So we'll take those out, and that'll get rid of the door handle for us. Of course, I dropped that. Alright, now all we have to do is just take all the screws out of the door. It's way easier than doing it at the junkyard with the screwdriver. Now, I did have this one apart previously because I went ahead and replaced all the window felts a while back, but now that that's done, I still haven't done the driver's side, so I'll do that one later today and I'll show you guys how that works. All right. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to take the glass out of here so it's out of my way, or at least so I can get the regulator out. This is actually going down nice and easy today. One of the reasons I made the decision to put power windows in the truck was because the factory regulators were so gummed up on this thing, and rolling the window down was a major pain in the butt. But now looking at this again, maybe I'm just going to leave the window up for now. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can get it back up first time. It's a little tough, but not too bad. Why the heck was it so jammed up before I went? Huh. All right, before I do any of that, I want to address how noisy this truck is still. So what I did is I went down to Rona, which is like Home Depot or any other hardware store, and I bought this stuff, which is multi-purpose aluminum waterproofing membrane, and it's basically dynamite. I used this stuff on the whole floor of the truck already, made a big difference for sure, but I can tell you right now that most of the noise now is coming through the door and the dash, where this hasn't been applied yet. If I can get this sticky paper off of this thing here, I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. And it's just an asphalt-based or tar-based sticky with aluminum foil on it, which does a great job of blocking sound. And it's super sticky too. And it just, what I like to do is I like to just cut it into like 4 or 6 inch wide strips, and then just take those strips and I'm just going to put them all inside the door panel on the outside. We can hear how tinny this thing is right now. So once we apply this, we're going to see a huge difference in what it sounds like when we tap it like that. But more importantly, what it sounds like when we're cruising down the road is where the big difference is going to be. We already know this thing's about 80 decibels on the highway from testing before when we were doing the J-pipe and all that. So it'll be interesting. We'll maybe check it again afterwards here and see how much this knocks the noise down. The other thing that was supposed to happen this weekend but didn't was the new windshield. And I think when I get the new windshield in the truck, I think that's going to make a big noise difference too, because the rubber that's around it right now is missing chunks and it's dried and it's cracked, and I can't wait to get all that replaced too. So for this, I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting it into strips, and just using an Olfa knife. And then you peel the backing off, which is sometimes the hardest part of putting this stuff in here. There we go. And then just dropping it in the door. I'm going to be real careful not to plug up any of the drain holes or any of that. And before I started this, I actually went through and wiped it out with some glass cleaner. Okay, I'm pretty much done with the sound deadening in the door there, and I kind of skipped ahead a little bit here, and I did bolt in the regulator. I only got one bolt in it so far because I need to drop it down a little bit, so then I had to start on the wiring. So that's kind of why I wasn't filming. I just kind of wanted to get that sorted out, but so far everything's pretty easy. I managed to get my drill in there with the unibit on it, or step bit, and I got it inside the door and drilled it from the inside out, and managed to put this rubber boot in that they give you to go with the kit. So that's all looking pretty good. From there up into the door frame, and there's a grommet right there, a factory one, so I managed to go through that grommet and in behind the glove box and across to the other side. So now I'm going to go ahead and on the other side I'm going to pull the wiring into that door, and then I will mount the power window motor and do all the same thing I did on this side. I'm going to get all that done because that's not real exciting stuff to film. And when that's done, I'll show you guys how the switches go in. There we go. Got the window out and back in. I replaced the anti-rattlers, the window sill or window seals on both sides, the fuzzy felt stuff, and yeah, that fought me the whole way, so I'm pretty happy to have that part done. But the window's super tight in the channel, and I'm not exactly sure why. If it's just the felts are really stiff because they're new, or what the deal is, because on the other side it was really stiff and now it's not. So I don't know. I'm going to keep plugging away and I'll get it figured out. Okay, we've got the door all wrapped up so it looks like a baked potato on the outside and on the inside. Finished up with the sound damping. It's not really an exciting process to watch. I've been kind of coming out here, this is day 3 now, of just kind of picking away at this thing when I have some spare time. And truthfully, that is the only way to get projects done. I mean, you got to put in time when you got time, or it'll just sit there and it'll never get done. And that's why there's all these people that are waiting to fix it up. Well, you just got to get out there, put your time in. 20 minutes 3 times over is an hour, and that's an hour you wouldn't have had otherwise. So that's how I like to do it. Now I'm just going to put the window regulator in. I've already pulled the wiring into the door, put the boot on in the door jamb, and quite honestly, this is the absolute worst part of doing this whole install, is drilling out these holes and getting the wiring into the door. So I didn't film it because it sucked. But it's done now, everything's good. It's kind of strange, they put the ground at this switch, so I guess it goes on with one of the bolts that holds the regulator in. And other than that, it was just one power wire, just an ignition source, and that's it. The wiring could have been a little bit longer. That's the only negative I'll give this kit so far. But other ease of installation, I don't really know how it can get any simpler than this. So I'm just going to plug this guy in if I can figure out how to do it. It's a little bit bent. There we go. And yeah, put this window regulator in, kind of figure out how to feed this guy in there. I'm just going to sit on my butt on the floor here and do this. I don't know why they ship these things in the full up position, which makes them very awkward to put in. Ship them in the down position, life would be a lot easier. For now, I'm just going to try to get a bolt in it. There we go. That makes it move. Get it into position. Oh yes. Some days the struggle is real. Okay. Whew. got 2 in there. Got my ground just hooked to this wire on the door. Oh yeah, there it is. You can see it now. That's the window regulator, so let's pull the window down. See if we can't get that thing to slip in or around. Take one more bolt back out. We're going to have to take all the bolts out. Probably, because that's how life works. Yep. Hey, that bolt you struggled to put in so hard, Jordan. Why don't you just pull it right back out? Okay. There. All right. I'm going to bolt this ground wire right to the regulator using one of these star washers that they, whatever you want to call it, washer that they put in the kit. And then we should be good to see if this goes up and down on its own. Yeah. This thing cranked down before it changes its mind. All right, here's the test. Yeah, all the way down. And all the way up, perfect. You know, I was wondering a little bit whether it was going to make it all the way up and down. With the new felts in the glass, it is really hard to move the glass up and down. But apparently this power window kit's got tons of power because it doesn't seem to struggle too badly. And that'll just get better, I'm sure. Yeah, I'd probably stop chattering at some point too. But there we go. Now all I got to do is mount the switches in the door panels, and I'm going to do some matting on the back of the door panel. And just in case everybody's wondering, this is sound damping, not sound dampening, because we're not making it wet. And I'm a bit of a snob about that kind of wordplay. Even though I probably use the wrong words all the time on all sorts of other stuff, but I'm not going to make my doors wet. I'm going to make them quiet. But whatever, that's the old car audio in me talking. Anyways, let's get onto the door panels and cut them out for these new switches. Okay, these are my good as new junkyard door panels. And these are the switches that go in. You can see on the back, need some clearance for it. And it's got this backer plate that just makes a sandwich and holds it to the door panel. So what I'm gonna have to do, I already traced it out here, and I'm just gonna have to cut that out so that that guy will fit flush. Somebody said try the red tin snips next time, which I have both red and yellow. So just try to cut this out using tin snips. That's easy. Well, the reds are the money. They work good. Thanks for the tip, random YouTube guy. Yeah, much easier than the yellows. I don't have my air compressor hooked up right now, or I probably just would have tried hogging this out with my die grinder. But I've been painting the floor in here in sections, and it's just not done yet. Floor's done. It's just got to dry now. I got to get everything hooked back up. Man, that worked pretty slick. Let's see if we got enough space for this guy. Alright. We have flush. I'm going to just take this door panel and wipe it down, and then I'm going to bolt that guy in. Actually, before I do any of that, I'm going to flip this thing over and I'm going to completely cover the backside in the tin soundproofing, sound damping material. Okay, well there it is. We got power windows. This all the way up. Nice and smooth all the way down. And we also did a lot of sound damping in this door, so I can barely even hear the motor running. And let's see the best part here now. This cord out of the way. Let's shut the door. Oh, did you hear how solid that is? Yes. Man, that is beautiful. That is like a fine European car, but good old Ford tough. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see in my videos, please subscribe. If you click the little bell up top for the notification, even better. And yeah, we'll see you next time for the next project on most likely this old F100. Thanks for watching.